Connor says we're good to go for this episode. All right.
We're launching.
Indeed, launching.
What's the master tactician doing today?
Gonna try for a little setup of forwarding all the archers. I don't like that. You know what? I probably want one coming in from a side angle as well. I don't want them all firing along the same axes. That's fine here. And then probably just hiding the rest of the team in the shadow of the archers. The spellcasters are going to want to run down this line. So I don't think I need to move them at all. I don't know if I need to move very many more of these people to begin with. It's been a busy morning here, Connor. I have some beef with members of my community, and then also I've got Delaware recycling and trash. So like once a year they gather up all, like if you have tax information you want professionally shredded, they do it for the community and dispose of electronics and such. So I dispose of some backup batteries that I had and other things. Wow, Dolan completely eliminated in one hit.
Wow.
Absolutely useless.
Backup batteries, huh?
Yeah.
Tax information?
So I brought 3 boxes and they had a giant sign that says they could only take 2 boxes. And I was like, can you take this 3rd box? And they were like, no. So now I have a 3rd box of tax information I can't do anything with. I have a shredder, so I may just end up having to shred it myself.
How do you have so many boxes of tax information?
Well, it's, you know, it's just important. It's not just tax information, right? It's anything that you would want shredded professionally.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't. As in my line of work, there isn't that much I'd want shredded. I don't know.
I love destroying things, Connor. I keep talking about how I want to remove more channels from the Discord. There are too many channels on my Discord, and I want to remove more of them. And everyone's like, compared to other Discords, you don't really have that many.
That is true.
I feel like there are too many. But when I said I wanted to compress the 4 Battletech channels down into 1 channel for Battletech, people immediately started fucking rioting. Like, what am I going to do here? You know? Just because I want to do something, and I can do something, doesn't mean it'll turn out the way I want it to.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. I mean, I understand the desire for spring cleaning, you know, in a certain sense of like.
No, this has nothing to do with spring. I prefer eliminating and destroying wastes in general.
Sure, and that's sort of what I'm talking about. It's the vibe of like sort of coming to a realization in a moment that maybe things have sort of gotten out of hand, and now it's time to clean up a little. But I don't know. I mean, on the scale of things, a Discord, a vaguely messy Discord, which is not in fact that messy, doesn't seem like something to be that concerned with, as far as I'm concerned.
I'd be concerning, bro. Super concerned.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really not. It's really not that messy. And you've downscaled, right? I mean, like, there used to be a lot more channels.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot less lifestyle channels now. Right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Where'd they all go? What used to be there now?
Wow, Ash got blocked. There was a politics channel. And there
Oh,
used
yeah,
to,
well,
a very long time ago, there used to be a
Long time.
venting channel.
Oh, I don't think I saw that.
And then the only person who used it vented in it, that no one ever went to the venting channel. And I was like, the point of the venting channel is for you to vent. And like, I don't know why you'd expect that people want to hear you complain about things. And they're like, well, that's what I want. I want people to engage with me about that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to force people to listen to you complain. I can't even force people to listen to me complain. And that's what I really care about, is me.
Yeah, some people go online into a discussion and they kind of engage with it as if the discussion group or the people on the other side of the discussion are just NPCs and they're obliged in some sense to engage with the material.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Is it?
It is. It is. Someone told me in real life I had big NPC energy, and I thanked them. I was like, "Hey, thanks, man." I was like, "Yeah, I'm a tabletop game master. So the fact that you think I have have that energy means that I've done my job correctly, blending into the background. Also, fuck you, but I know you didn't mean it as a compliment. Like, I know that.
Yeah,
but I still agree that I do have that energy. Connor, you need to understand that.
I didn't say this, right?
It wasn't you. No, don't worry about that part.
Yeah.
You need to understand that in real life, I don't really talk to other people, and even though I'm a big guy, and I'm a big guy, I do my best to be unobtrusive and to pass through places without causing a scene or causing a problem. I don't make small talk with people, and actually I feel like people who make small talk in general are kind of annoying, and it feels like a real boomer thing. Sorry to all the people that make small talk, but forced small talk with people while you're standing in line is so fucking annoying to me. Like, if I want, I just don't want to have a conversation with you. I can recall very clearly being in a situation where I was waiting to get on a cruise and some person directly behind me in the line. So I was in like the premium passenger line for the people who'd paid extra for a very nice room. So I'm in a line I've never been in before. I'm like, oh man, my cruise is about to start. It's going to be sick as hell. Like, I'm in like the rich people line. And the person behind me goes, "You're a very fat person, aren't you?" And I'm like, wow, you have meant 5 seconds. I'm standing here. You have walked up and you have ruined my cruise in 5 seconds. And he's like, well, I'm from New York. We're allowed to act like that. And I'm like, I've lived in New York, you fucking idiot. And someone's like, whoa, calm down, dude. And I'm like, this dude just walked up and started shit with me immediately. And they're like, sir, we need you to calm down. You can't be swearing around here. And I was just like, that's it. That person was behind me for 30 minutes, and he and his wife kept talking to me even as I ignored them. They somehow thought we were still having a conversation for a solid 30 minutes, despite the fact my back was turned to them and I said nothing to them. It was truly one of the most insulting times I've ever had, and it's crazy to me that the employees treated me like I was the one in the wrong here.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking insane behavior.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I will say, like, yeah, if you start swearing, then it's kind of like if you started punching them, that would be bad. Like, that would be inappropriate.
Unbelievable that somehow just walking up to somebody and calling them fat is worse than responding by swearing, Connor. I see where you're coming from, but also that's crazy. It's just so insulting.
It's like an escalation.
It was an escalation. It was an escalation to tell him to mind his own fucking business. And as a New Yorker, he should have fucking known better.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of that. Yeah, I mean, like, that's wild. And I'd never seen a New Yorker
openly take swings at people like that. That's a typical New Yorker. Well, no, all right. Let me go back on that.
So that's not my experience.
Yeah, all right. In my experience, New Yorkers tend to be a lot like me in terms of not wanting to talk to people. New Yorkers,
totally. You don't engage with anybody.
The
Like,
small
even if
town
someone's,
people
like,
who
dying
come
on the
in and
road,
they're like, no one smiles at each other, no one talks to each other, and I'm like, there are 19 million people in New York City.
yeah, you don't do that.
There are 19 million people and they live in the same amount of space that your fucking cows live in, okay?
Right. Yeah, you just don't engage with people unless, you have a reason to, like an actual reason, not just because we're in the same space.
The area of Hell's Kitchen is like 8 blocks and more people live there than in half your state, okay?
Right.
Oh no, not whoa! That block, that's pivotal. That's gonna keep the healer alive. All right,
I'm
so
shocked
sub healer
that
is
someone
alive.
did that on the cruise, though. Sorry to interrupt there.
Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
really
that's
shocked.
fine. Yeah, I mean, I never saw them again on the cruise, and I always treat my cruises as a time for me to be very private, and I enjoy my privacy, and I just don't engage with people while I'm on a cruise. It's a vacation. My vacation is being away from people. Even though I'm normally away from people, cruises are a doubly way to be away from people.
Yeah. I think for some people, cruises are a way to be on a boat with sort of the same set of people for a week or whatever it is, and possibly like to engage with the people that they meet on that cruise, like as a selection sort of filter, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I understand some
like-
people have come around to either party or have sex. Yes, Connor, I've seen a cruise before. Yeah.
I hadn't been thinking in those terms, but yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I think for some people it's the opposite, but I definitely understand it.
What the opposite is what exactly? Not partying and not having sex on a cruise?
Well, that'd be what you're doing, right?
I mean,
I'm not trying.
yes, you're technically correct. You have walked me into a situation where I am forced to agree with you. That is true. When I go on cruises, I am both not partying and not having sex with anybody on board. You are correct. I have no rebuttal to that.
Sorry.
I have no rebuttal, no follow-up. 100%.
That was not my intention.
No, I was gonna counterblast you, but if you are only using me as an example, then that is correct. Yes, I wouldn't say that's the case for everybody or even a minority of people.
But when my family we went on a cruise last year for the first time, and we weren't really interested in hanging out with anybody else. It was really like the more we could be alone on the cruise, the better. So we're on the same vibe here.
So true. Absolute agreement.
We were with ourselves. We were with our family, so it's slightly different. But
I would like to go on an AP Gaming Real cruise with like longtime cast members, meet them in person for the first time, and then just play some D&D whenever we're at water. Like the boat's moving. But first, I'd have to be okay with meeting people in real life, which is something I've struggled with getting towards, and it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Limo very kindly offers to go to a crab boil with me every year for like the last 5 years because I believe he has family in Delaware, and I always turn him down. Like, I appreciate that he offers, and it's very, very kind, but also, no, I'm not going to do it yet. And, part of the reason is the simple fact that I'm not like a very big broadcaster. I don't have a huge audience, and I still have people who are weird fucking stalkers. Like, just the weirdest fucking shit has happened to me.
Yeah, you don't expect how weird people can be online, even to the degree that I've streamed. I would say, and considering how like small the audience, that when I was streamed that I had was, like you still meet a lot of have a lot of weird, strange encounters.
Yeah.
Like, just be normal, people. Be normal. But,
last night on the intro hour. So I'm deleting that episode of the intro hour, which is apparently causing some controversy. I didn't just delete the VOD, I've also deleted the Twitch stream so that no one can ever watch it. I know I've known for a while that people who like Battletech are getting upset with the way I'm running Battletech lately because there haven't been any giant robot battles. And someone just flat out said it to my face yesterday. They were like, yeah, you should do, more giant robot battles. That's why I'm watching. And I was just so pissed. I was so pissed. I could not stop. You're laughing. You don't understand how pissed I was. I was so... It's okay. I'm saying it in a funny way, and I'm trying to deflect how pissed I was with humor.
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
Well, why does that make you... why would that make you angry, I guess?
Because that destroys the underlying actual concept of Battletech. There is this thing that a lot of people in the community, especially casual, and I mean in the Battletech community, think that Battletech is just about giant stompy robots fighting each other. And you know what? If that's all you're in for, I guess that's fine. But when it comes to the lore of Battletech as it's written by the people who make it, and when it comes to the novelizations they've made, there are whole Battletech books that don't have a single fucking mech fight in them. And even the ones that do, less than 10% of the novel is about mech fights. Battletech is the original A Song of Fire and Ice. It's the original Game of Thrones. Like, it was about politics and the movement of logistics and armies, communications, supply, backstabbing and political fuckery. Like, it was all of that a full decade before George R.R. Martin started writing that shit.
Gundam had that.
Yeah, Gundam as well. I mean, that's why I'm always, when people are like, why can't you be more apolitical like Gundam? And I'm like, okay, I don't know how you're considered to be a fully functioning human being. Like, you've clearly never seen a Gundam or understood anything about it at all.
I mean, I haven't actually watched Gundam, but I understood
it's
that
extremely political.
Is very political, right? Like
that's
every
Gundam.
Me want to watch it.
Even the Gundams that are like tee-hee were like mini chibi lol. Like, even the stuff that's made for children is still extremely political. Half the storylines in the oldest Gundam are like, I commit political terrorism because it's the only way to get my message across that, my people deserve freedom. And it's like, what price am I willing to pay? The entirety of the earth. And people are like, that's not political. That's awesome. And I'm like, so what is political to you exactly? Does mass genocide apparently is not political to you? But the fact that a single character in the entire series is implied to be Muslim, political. One person in one of the 5 timelines is considered to be kind of Islamic-ish, political.
Oh, really? Like, that's what
you're
saying?
Yeah, they think that that's... Listen, there's casual Gundam fans who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. But
and to be clear, I don't know anything about Gundam, but I mean, I do understand. That's always what I understood about Gundam.
Yes, it's super political.
Yeah,
always has been, always will be. Yeah, so Battletech has whole novels that don't even have a mech fight in them. But because I'm not doing mech fight after mech fight, and it used to be I would do one mech fight every 3 to 4 episodes, but those episodes were 4 hours long. And now it's been 8 episodes since I've done it in some of my shows. But again, those episodes are half as long as normal, so I'm really only at the part where I should be running one. But I get where these people are coming from. I just don't agree with them. I don't think that the battles should be everything, and I also don't want to force my casts to be in battles. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't, it's their choice. They've walked away from me baiting them with duels. They've chosen to talk their way out of fights rather than fight with mechs through fights. Like, you want me to just fucking force them to battle? That's not my style. And even if it was my style, that's not the style I'm running this particular game in.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, in general, it's like it's ruining your agency in some sense to like sort of. I mean, not ruining your agency. You still have choice. I think they can advocate. I think people can advocate respectfully for a type of content. And I will say, as a content creator of a different stripe,
No, we're the same. You and me, Connor Hughes, we're the same. We're two sides of the same coin, you and I.
Sure, yeah.
Sorry, I was watching Unsleeping City, and that was just a couple days ago, and that was a meme. It was two characters who were nothing alike. One of them just kept saying, we're two sides of the same coin, and by the end of the series, the second guy very wearily goes, that's right, let's team up and attack, because, deep breath, we're two sides of the same coin. And the whole party fucking lost their mind.
I haven't seen that show, but
Don't worry, it's on Dimension 20. It's very New York based. It's about modern day New York City, and magic is real, but it's kept out of the eyes of everyone by like wizards. So wizards have discovered an engine that they drive magical energy through that keeps non-magical people from realizing that magic's going on. And so the show is about the interplay between that engine, and because dreams have power and magic has power, there is now a new 6th borough of New York that takes place in the dream world, and its level of power changes depending on how much sleep the people of New York City get and what their dreams are. And so, I don't want to spoil too much, but in the first season, the American dream, as it pertains to New York City, becomes an actual character, like a real fleshed out character who walks around in the dream world. And what that represents changes depending on both who's observing it and what people in the real world believe. And so I think, as you can imagine, what the American dream represents to New Yorkers changes drastically throughout the series.
Yeah. Sure. Especially if it's correlating to a real-life timeline.
Yes. But also consider that for an immigrant, the American dream is very different than a Wall Street capitalist.
Right.
One might dream of extreme wealth, while the other is dreaming of freedom from oppression.
Yeah, we started watching Free Run.
As suggested, yes.
As suggested, yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, we like, I'd say the first few episodes are a little slow, but now,
That's what the Hero Himma would have done. That's all I have to say to that.
In the spirit of the content of the BattleTech discussion, now that there's mage battles, a little more fun to watch.
You know what I really love about Friedren is that every track on the soundtrack is like slow and kind of Celtic. It's got the bells and like the flutes and such, right. And it's very calm. And then the producer, Evan McCall, Evan McCall's the musician. The producer went to him and was like, okay, so we need a battle theme for a battle between two mages. And Evan was like, okay, I think I got you. And they're like, it's not that long. The battles are only like 2.5 minutes of animation. So it doesn't need to, like, you don't need to go ham. And then, like, the battle theme is just someone, like, screaming choirly, like, ah, and then fucking, like, dulcimers and horns and bells everywhere, flutes going insane. Shit sounds like a Celtic fair, and I'm like, God damn, Evan McCall, calm down.
Yeah, it's the meme of the guy that's on fire with the piano. The piano's on fire. Right?
Evan McCall went crazy. Absolutely insane. Is this dude bombing Zohar? Absolutely trying to scorch Zohar into the ground. Alright, Eleni is still alive. We lost our backup healer. I think I'm gonna throw this battle and just go all in on this turn. I don't really have a choice. Like, so many people are hurt, and I only have one healer left. I only have to kill Xeno.
I see. So you're gonna risk it all on one move.
That's right. The imagery in Frieren is incredible. Like when the hero Himmel is on his knees before Frieren, giving her a ring. Someone was like, "Did you notice that the only thing between them is a clock tower, which represents the only thing that's truly between the two of them, time?" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
What? Mind blown. Yeah.
Never even considered that. Been a manga reader since day one, normally into symbolism and that sort of shit. Completely didn't even remotely notice that in the anime. They did such a good job. And they picked such good voice. I don't know if you're watching in sub or dub, but they picked incredible voice actors for the sub, for the original Japanese audio.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm watching on dub.
Oh boy. Oh, it's so different. Frieren has a real like mom voice on it. It drives me nuts.
Like, I could be wrong, but she almost sounds like Princess Mononoke. I'm gonna check it now. 'Cause I was thinking that the other day. I could be way off.
Man, Princess Mononoke. I haven't thought about that since yesterday when I was listening to someone do a breakdown of Miyazaki films. I was listening to Freddie Wong do a breakdown of Miyazaki films, and he talked about Princess Mononoke, and I was like, damn, Princess Mononoke. We'll never get an anime movie that good again. Literally, Billy Bob Thornton and Gillian Anderson voice acting in like the first anime movie to be released in American theaters. Roger and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs up, which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that is top tier. I mean, but then again, we'll never get another Akira, right?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh,
Akira is fine, I guess. It's fine. I remember watching Akira on a day when I was home from school, and because it was snowing. I remember that more than I do 90% of the storyline. I'm sorry, Connor. I thought it was okay. It had some really good symbolism, and it's clear that Akira means a lot to a lot of people, but also I don't like its, Eastern philosophy cyclical nature where the end of the show, the explosion, is also the beginning of the show, and that everything is trapped in a universal time loop as a result of the events of Akira. Right? Isn't that the point? Is that his blowing up the universe also starts a new universe where events will inevitably lead to that exact moment once again? Like, I just don't like that. I'm sorry.
I mean, you could not like that and then still enjoy the movie.
Yeah, some parts of it were good. Anything involving that motorcycle slide was pretty slick.
Yeah, I mean the soundtrack is amazing, the animation's amazing, and that's you talked about what won't we get again? We won't get that again.
Yeah.
That unless because of course that was also during the height of the Japanese economy, so they just had lots of money spent on animation and lots of talent at the time. And they still have talent, obviously.
I mean, here's the problem that Japan has that's the same as Hollywood. There are so many television channels, so many streaming services, and so many shows being made right now. But you can have lots and lots of B-listers, thousands of B-listers. But like the top talent, and the problem is that you really need top talent in multiple categories. You don't just need to have amazing actors. You also have to have amazing writers, amazing producers, amazing executive producers, amazing directors. You need to have all of that be free and align at the same time. Did I mention writers? Writers should definitely be in there, by the way, if I didn't mention them. You need all of that to be free at the same time, and that's the problem with today, is that like the A+ tier talent are not available because they are all already working and doing other things. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to get all of them together on one project. It's down to shit like passion project, like the first John Wick or like Glass Knives or I hate to say it, but Expendables 1, like you have to get people who believe in a project so much they're willing to give up the money of doing a bunch of B plus tier things. Like in the same amount of time you could make an A or an A plus movie or TV series, you could make 5 B minuses. It's why Disney Plus and the Marvel series has absolutely gone downhill, because rather than making one movie every 2 years, they're now making 4 movies every year and 1 or 2 series. And there just isn't enough talented people across the board in costuming, in soundtrack, writing, directing, someone to make all of these things move in the same direction in a meta storyline. There just simply are not enough A plus talented people to make that work. And the animation industry in Japan is fucking tapped itself out. The animators are working basically 24/7. I don't follow Jujutsu Kaisen that much. I tried watching like the first 6 episodes and I just did not find it to be like super interesting. It's okay. I didn't understand the appeal, but apparently in the second season, on like the 18th out of 26 episodes, the majority of animators just quit. They just stopped making the show because they were so tired.
Sure.
That's insane. And you know, I feel like I'm preaching to you now, but I don't think I have to tell you drawing is a skill that requires a lot of refinement, and especially in an industry where the majority of people doing the animation are really copying someone else's style. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at Frieren, a lot of the shots are almost directly out of the manga. There are sequences like I don't want to again spoil too much, but there are going to be sequences like a dance scene. It'll be more significant when you come to it. The dance scene only got like 2 panels in the manga, and they turned it into like a full 5-minute sequence. The 2 panels that were there pretty much appear exactly as they were, but then they added like this whole dance sequence that still fit perfectly in with everything we know about the characters. It looked great, but the person who made that hat wasn't working with anything. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I don't know, maybe the artist released a bunch of like behind the scenes stuff to them and they worked off of that, but you're still looking at all the people doing the animation are copying characters who look and move in the way that someone else has done. It's pretty rare, it's not impossible, but it's pretty rare that the person who originally made a series to also be a lead animator or even like an executive producer on their own series. Does what I'm saying there make sense?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, is the creator of Frieren or like on the team?
yeah, they are part of the effort.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are they actually animating it? I don't believe so. Maybe
they're doing like
on the
shots,
other hand,
like,
they have been
short.
taking a lot of unexplained breaks.
Yeah.
You should know that Frieren production has slowed down a lot. Like the actual manga, it's pretty commonly we'll get 1 issue and then there'll be 4 weeks of being off again.
I mean, I'm a Berserk fan. Okay, listen.
Yeah, but Friren's real hot right now and Berserk isn't. I'm sorry to say this, but
I mean, Berserk is got that it's got that what's that soup that boils forever? Like it's
perpetual stew.
It's just a perpetual stew of the anime world.
Yeah, but Frieren is so hot right now.
Yeah,
literally, people are walking around saying to each other, "It's what the Hero Himmel would have done," and I believe them. It is what the Hero Himmel would have done. Is it the right thing to do? Because if it was, that's what the Hero Himmel would have done. The Hero Himmel and his method for dungeon clearing, genius. The Hero Himmel and his penchant for making statues, genius. The Hero Himmel and recruiting Frieren, genius. That's what the Hero Himmel would have done. I'm so sad because there's so much I want to talk to you about Himmel and Frieren, and I can't, because if you're only like 2 or 3 episodes in, you don't even know about the fairy, you don't know shit about half of the big events that happen. I can't even talk to you about shit that isn't in the anime yet, like the El Dorado arc being a fucking masterpiece. The Goddess Time arc, absolutely wild. Explains so much going on in the background early on that kind of didn't make sense to manga readers. There were some questions that were lingering, and then during Goddess Time, we were like, so this explains a lot about the hero party, the original hero party.
Yeah, we just got. I mean, I don't know if we want to spoil things for the audience either, but I just got to the.
Only one person watches this show. It's okay. They're an anime fan.
They can mute this part. We got to the third party member last night.
Stark?
That's where we were at. Yeah, Stark.
I'm not going to say anything more. So funny that you say third party member.
What?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Because it's ambiguous, you know? I didn't know if we wanted to spoil things for the
Stark-kun.
one audience.
Stark. Oh no, sorry. She's still at the. Fern still calls him Stark-sama throughout the first season. Stark-sama.
No, he just told her like, "Don't call me Mr. Stark," and she's like, "Okay," and then she's really rude to him.
Yeah, that's pretty much their whole relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like,
Can't even imagine watching the dub now. She does call him Stark-sama all the time, just to be really clear. Fern is a very... I don't think the dub would make it clear. Fern is a very respectful, she speaks very politely to people, but she also internally is incredibly fucking rude to everybody.
yeah. I think they get that across.
So how far are you into meeting Stark? Like, has he officially joined the team, or are you still on Stark versus the Dragon?
I think we're on the next thing where they're. I think we left off where they were trying to get past the gate.
So Stark has killed the dragon then. Like
he killed the dragon, yeah.
All right, yeah.
And then like the next episode, I think they are trying to advance into heaven, and they come across a gate where they're like, no, you can't go across because there's monsters. And then now the mayor just apologized for the guard.
Oh my god, you're about to come up on one of the top arcs. You're about to come up on the KYS arc. Oh,
I love the battle with the guy who was stealed away, and then she's just like, well, it's been 80 years, and we totally like stole your shit, and like now everything's better, and now you were just totally invalid, and you die.
Yeah. Qualk?
For me, that felt like a very AP gaming, like real. Like I felt like you would like that moment too.
So what you need to understand is that in the manga, so the animation revealed something the manga didn't. In the manga, the soul track spell that Fern and Fryren use is, I mean, the shooting spell that they use, their Kamehameha beam is called Zoltrak. And Qualk, or whatever his name is the one who developed that spell. And he developed it as an anti-human killing spell. It's a very fast killing beam. And I mean, they explain this in the episode. I'm just going to do a quick recap. That like humans had to develop a defense against it after Fryren sealed Qualk away. And that's how they got what they now consider to be basic defensive magic to block Soul Track is actually like the most highly advanced, like demons see it and they're like, wow, that's like super advanced magic. But for humans, and this is the reason that magic is so important to humans, they've advanced magic so quickly, but because some of them, like Fern, are being born knowing that spell, it's not an advanced spell for them. For them, it's their beginner magic. Fryren rewrote the way Soul Track works to become a anti-demon killing spell, which, again, in the manga, we knew all of this from dialogue and from scenes that happened. But what the animation shows is that Qualk's Soul Track is black. It's a pillar of black beam energy, which was not clear in the manga. And that hers is a pillar of white, which is why it's anti-demon rather than anti-human. And this will become very important at the end of the series. The difference between their two Zoltrax. It's going to come back up again.
Okay. Yeah, I did notice that. I didn't realize that she was using literally the same spell on him.
Yes, she rewrote the spell. She had 80 years to plan it, and she personally rewrote the spell to kill specifically him. Listen, Friren is so funny as a character because she's been alive for 1,000 years, but there are elves that have lived longer than that. But she also has the highest demon kill count in existence, which isn't surprising. Right. Again, she's lived 1,000 years. I mean, that's why she's called Friren the Slayer. She was given the Slayer titles because she's the one who has killed the most demons. All of her kills were made in a 10-year period, which is why the demons are so fucking afraid of her. Like, they don't know that she's 1,000 years old. They don't care how old she is. All they know is that for a 10-year period, she was like basically killing demons every single day. It was the only thing she did was murder demons. And she, of course, gets credit for killing the Demon King. So, yeah, like, it's so funny because you're going to meet elves later that are like, I've been alive for over 3,000 years, and I've killed my share of demons. But you killed, like, a lot of demons in 10 years. Like, a whole lot of fucking demons, Friren. You gotta calm down, girl. Relax.
And yet she's so funny. She's got all these quirky things. Like, she's like, oh, I'm so excited to raid this dragon's nest for Tone.
It's all gonna come back. Ice. It's so funny. It's all gonna come back, Connor. Everything she does is gonna come back around. Do you know about her master yet? The Great Mage Flammy?
Yeah, I think they were talking about her during the dwarf episode, which precedes the
don't worry, stuff. She's gonna get some good past arcs with Flammy. Flammy is incredible. Flammy easily planted the series' greatest troll into Friren's mind. The true master of all things. All right, so while we were talking, I casually murdered Xeno and ended the battle.
Nice, we like this.
We do like this. So is this it? I'm about to face the final battle of the whole series?
Let me check. But I believe so.
He said there were only 2 battles left, and I just finished a battle, which means there should only be 1 battle left, which means if this isn't the last battle, Connor lied! You lied!
Shameless lying.
He lied shamelessly. I'm going to do the dialogue just as soon as we know from Connor whether this is or is not the final battle.
Yes, that should be the final. Next should be the final battle.
I am also going to send you real quick, Connor. This character predates the start of the Friren manga by about 2 years. This is a character that I developed who's called the White Witch of the Plains. And she's a very kind healing witch who I was going to play in a tabletop actual play that fell apart. All right. Tell me that this isn't kind of spooky.
Yeah.
You see the date on that? 2019, before the Friren manga started. Years before the Friren manga started, I created an adventuring, traveling, healing witch who travels the land in order to right wrongs. Now, demon killing wasn't part of her portfolio, but I was just like, this character design looks strangely similar. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I agree. White-haired elf with the ponytails. It's a look.
The twin tails, I believe you mean. The twin tails. With the ribbons.
Twin tails, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's gotta be twin tails, Connor. Don't you understand? It's anime women's.
The thing is, Friren has to have that deadpan, like, I don't give a shit about you look. Not the smile.
What? You don't. So this is how I know that you aren't cultured, because you don't understand Friren yet. You don't understand her smile.
I understand that she has.
You don't understand because you aren't Himmel. You're not him, and you're not capital Himmel.
Look, I mean, it is understood by everyone that knows her that she is cold. I mean, literally, he is old, and he's an old man, and he's talking to the to the village, the guy who's in the village with the sealed demon, and he's like, she's cold. She's cold. She's a bit cold. And the guy's like, more than cold. So come on now. She's cold.
We'll talk again
Superficial.
after the goddess time arc gets animated. We'll talk.
Okay, it's on a
Unless
superficial level. She's cold. I'll say that. Like, yeah, she cares about people. She obviously went back to the village and saved them. When the seal was up. So, I'm not trying to say she's like a psychopath or something, but
we'll talk. We'll talk later. We'll talk in years once Goddess Time has been animated. It's gonna be a while. Goddess Time arc literally just ended and they started a new arc. Goddess Time answers so many questions about Himmel's and the party's relationship with Frieren that just doesn't make sense. For instance, as you've mentioned, they believe and treat her as if she's a cold person, and yet there is something about their relationship with her that is different for a reason.
Okay.
Don't you understand the abyss of time concept, Connor? It's a concept. Abyss of time is like when Elrond says, I was there, Gandalf, I was there 3,000 years ago. Because when Elrond is introduced in the original book, The Hobbit, it's like, oh, he's an old, but not like too old. He's like, oh, an elf in his like 40s, and he's just like a wise guy. And then in Lord of the Rings, he's like, I was there 3,000 years ago. And suddenly we're like, wow, holy shit, Elrond is 3,000 fucking years old. And he was there when the One Ring could have been destroyed. Like, he was a full adult at the time that happened as well. Like, this dude is old. He's seen some shit. That's called Abyss of Time. It's an amount of time beyond human understanding where things happen. There's more to it, and you can watch a Matt Colville video on it that is titled The Abyss of Time. But in general, almost everything about Frieren is about the Abyss of Time, because Frieren is 1,000 years old. And the first episode literally ends with her being like, were we friends? We just traveled together for a mere 10 years. And for Himmel and Hyder, and to a lesser extent, the dwarf whose name is now evading me right now, but also begins with an H almost assuredly. For them, 10 years was a pretty significant amount of time. For Himmel, it was almost his whole life. For Hyder, it was the point where he went from being a junior priest to the high priest of the goddess. Like, for them, this adventure was the most significant thing. Killing the Demon King and freeing the land was the most significant act they would ever perform. And for her, it was something she did because people dragged her out of bed.
Right. And like, for, by comparison, say, when you're in your 20s, this is like sort of your big, most energetic moment possibly.
Oh, you're hurting me, Connor. Keep going.
Right?
I agree with you. I agree with you. 100%. Keep going.
Like, this is where you do most of the quote unquote living in a certain sense. Like, I put some big asterisks on that sentence, but
yes, I'm aware that many of my colleagues in streaming right now have children that they had in their late 20s. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I understand.
So that's kind of like what their experience is. This is their 20s. This is their prime moment of living, and then everything after
old Himmel being like, oh, it's me. What's going on, Frieren?
His mustache and his his whole
beard,
vibe is,
and he's so short. He's so short.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of wild.
You know what's really fascinating? I don't know if they ever explicitly say it in the anime, which is weird because they do explicitly say it in the manga, is that the demons were so afraid. Trust me, they are deathly afraid of Frieren, but they are so afraid of Himmel that the 80 years of peace was bought on his life. And the instant they found out he died, the whole series of demon attacks started picking up again. Like, all the demons that you see throughout the series, besides, I'm going to say his name was Qualk, who, they froze him and put him on a timer. Every demon you meet after that, they were just so afraid of even old ass Himmel that they did not attack. They are more afraid of him than they are even of Frieren, and Frieren is the one who killed most of the demons. He's just that strong.
Really? Well, I'm surprised by that. I was gonna, if you were saying that, she killed all the demons, so I would assume
No,
that.
I said she killed a lot of demons. I didn't say she killed
Yeah.
all the demons.
Well, she killed, and then she killed the king.
She
So I
gets
assume
credit
she
for killing the king, but the whole party killed it together.
Sure. Yeah.
And I also want to say this. We have not seen the scene where the king dies. We know almost nothing about it beyond a throwaway line from Frieren in one scene where she's like, I couldn't have done it without my whole team.
Right.
They were necessary. So the only two things, well, as one of the things we know about the Demon King, I can't tell you because you haven't learned that part yet. Never mind. God, I could talk about Frieren for hours. What an incredible series. It's such a breath of fresh air in the fantasy realm. You know what I mean? There's no isekai. I feel like Delicious in Dungeon was the same way. Like, there's no isekai. They don't fall back on shitty familiar tropes. There's no, like, oh, I fell over ecchi. Now we're, like dumb bullshit. Like, it is human interactions and philosophy are the main drivers of Frieren, and cooking and ethics are the main drivers of Delicious and Dungeon, and the two shows together really are just good. They're good shows. Feels good.
Feels good, man.
We're eating at a good anime time, is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm fucking tired of all these fucking isekai shows that are garbage. The one good isekai show is not on Crunchyroll, which upsets me. And that's oh God, what is it called? Hold on a second. It's the one with Sid. I'm gonna need a hot second to cook this. The Eminence in Shadows. So this is about a guy who really wants to be the power behind the throne and the one pulling all the strings at the heart of all secret plots in the world. And he trains his entire life in the mortal realm until he's like 18, and then he dies. He actually does get isekai'd, and his isekai power that he's given is that all of the weird delusions he thinks about become true. And so he starts making up random shit like there's a demonic blood power behind all events in the world, and he literally creates a new reality where the demonic blood power is behind everything in the world. But like 90% of the time he stands on top of tall buildings in the middle of the night and he goes, all things are proceeding according to my plan. That's his whole deal, is that like 90% of his life is performative bullshit and making up insane theories, and 10% of the time he has to solve all of the problems he's created by saying inane bullshit.
So AP, he is literally the DM.
Yes, he is the DM of his own adventure. And here's the thing, again, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that all of the crazy shit he says becomes true.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see how both of these animes are totally up your alley.
Byron, it's so good. Listen, I'm just glad you guys are enjoying it. I was worried your wife might not like it.
I mean, again, it was definitely a slow boil. We were kind of like,
okay, so your wife didn't really like it. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry, it'll get better.
Yeah, I mean, she's liking it now that there's more going.
Frieren socks are on their way up. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good time to invest and never sell. You got to hold diamond hands.
Diamond hands, yeah.
Diamond hands. All right, I'm gonna start reading this dialogue.
Very good.
Zeno was a man very much like other men. Mankind has ever had an insatiable desire for truth and knowledge, but not everyone kills for that desire. Well, anyway, we're still gonna deal with Ulf. Are we ready to attack as well, Ash? Let's go. Let's go. This is the final battle. All right, that does make it seem like this is going to be the final battle. This is before they made video games like Fire Emblem. It's another week of me trying to convince Connor to buy Fire Emblem on the Switch.
Oh, I thought that was you convincing me that we might play Fire Emblem next.
Oh, that would be crazy, dude. Oh, hold on. Someone sent me a message on Discord.
Sure.
Someone said something really rude to me last night, and people are checking in to make sure that I'm okay because I'm so pissed off. I was really mad about it.
Sounds like it wasn't intended to be rude.
I agree that that's true. I don't think they intended it to be rude, but it is rude to me. And the thing that really bothers me is that they aren't the only person that believes it. I know for a fact other people have said stuff like that, what that guy said, and I'm certain that there are people that believe it and just haven't said it to me because they would rather not be rude to my face.
Sure. What I was going to say earlier was, as a fellow content creator, it can be I don't know, sort of a drag or something to just sort of give people what they want all the time. Sometimes you just want to do your own thing and like kind of be creative in just the way that you might be if you were alone. But the content must come out. The people need what they want, I guess. So it's a balancing act as a content creator. So I can relate is I guess what I'm saying.
All right, nothing the audience likes more than listening to me type at high speed while I try to convince people I'm not losing my mind. My favorite part of the day. Impressive! I greatly underestimated you. You know what, Dolph? I agree with you now. We should destroy the world, wipe it out, and start afresh. I'm 100% on your side. Just all it took was one person saying some really mean shit to me, and the knowledge that other people definitely believe that shit. Dolph, what are you planning? If this continues, everyone in Ishtaria will wind up dead. Do you want to be the ruler of a kingdom of ghosts? Hell yeah, that sounds sick as fuck. Oh, you completely misunderstand me. It is neither power nor glory that I seek. It is revenge for the death of my father, Aris, that I seek. Aris the sage? The greatest hero of Ishtaria was your father? Father was the greatest patriot of our history. He was used and thrown away like a lump of coal. His place in history was forgotten even as the people enjoyed the prosperity that was hard won with his blood. I vowed I would take revenge on those people who forgot him. It was then that I met Zeno and learned of the flames of judgment. Fool, to use such power for petty revenge. You would destroy the world to settle your own puny debts? Your words move me not. This unclean world can only be cleansed with fire. Oh wow, this is some real prosy skit stuff. This world is imperfect. I want to wipe it away to be clean and beautiful, just like me. Lysanderoth, You were behind all of this? You're wrong. Though this world may be wicked, life itself is precious. Good and evil, love and hate. Each man contains the potential for both. You would exterminate mankind for their sins. I would fight the gods themselves to save them. I guess you could say we're two sides of the same coin, Ash. Sanctimonious whelp. I love that's become a callback. How many souls have you yourself released from their corporeal bondage, which is a fancy way of saying you've killed people? Well then, why don't you see if you could stop me?
You know, I think that might have been a little over the top.
Me or Dolph?
You.
You think that this guy, at the height of his power, he's literally inches away from winning. At the beginning of the last battle, there was a cinematic where the town guard literally just fucking runs away. Ash is the only person that can oppose a dude whose class is Doom Lord. And you think I'm being over the top by having him enjoy being like, I'm going to destroy you? Like, this dude is 5 seconds away from getting everything that he wants.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Connor, I'm willing to hear your strategy guide.
All right. Yeah, I'm browbeaten here. Capital Shumeria 2. So, Showdown in the Great Temple. There are many ways to proceed here, but only one postulate. Don't go up the middle. The forces of the warriors and the mages surely kill at least one person, often Ash, if he continues recklessly towards Dolph. No, the best way forward is eliminating the fringe players, namely the Mega Guard Bahamut duos on either stairs at the stair bottom. During this, it forces the M Cannon and Dark Mages to go to one side and fire or proceed closer to the allies. Either way, it divides the main forces and makes attacking them much easier. Without the long-range players, the fighters on the mid-level can be nuked with magic from front and flank. Haha. Dolph is quite powerful as a physical attacker and shouldn't be faced unless everyone is at high HP. As expected with final bosses, once defeated, he changes into something, the Dark Angel. Dealing with this semi-duality shouldn't be that hard to solve. Kill Dolph in the first form and trigger the change in the same turn, then nuke it in the preferred fashion before it can attack. It only has 165 HP in the Dynamo Hum spell, so overtaking it in one turn isn't a stretch of the imagination. So there you go.
I just realized I was muted and you didn't get any of my memery, and I'm very sad for that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I missed out.
I did we're two sides of the same coin. You know, you're the hardworking, successful one, and I'm the lazy, memey one. It's lost forever. Don't worry about it. Because when it comes to muting ourselves on stream, we're really the same side of the same coin.
Yeah. Speaking of muting, I was checking out Windows voice commands the other day. I was like, oh, you know what I'd really like to be able to do? I'd really like to be able to speak into my mic and have it Google something on another screen while I'm drawing. And to my shock, it works abysmally. It's just so bad and so useless. I just immediately had to turn it off. Like, first I found that it gives you voice recognition, the program. Which is the name for it. And then it's like, as soon as it updates, it's like, oh, we're no longer using this. Use this other program, which is called Voice Access. So then I have to set up Voice Access. And then Voice Access, first of all, it permanently leaves a band at the top of your primary screen with like a recording of whatever you're saying, so you can't move it. You can't move it off your primary screen. So if you're doing something on your primary screen that you want the full screen for, well, too bad. You got a band there now if you want to use this thing. And then when I asked it to Google search something, it just wouldn't do it. It just wouldn't work. So
Connor's learning that this thing is going to be pre-programmed into all Windows 12, along with that AI Copilot bullshit.
Yeah, well,
welcome to pain, brother.
Welcome to pain. Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, how? I mean, I just don't understand how everything so routinely screws up when it comes to these basic features. It's like, obviously, if you're into voice commands, and like, it was talking about, oh, here, use the voice command. Oh no, he's got to fall back. Use the voice command to move your mouse. Like, who needs a voice? I mean, like, okay, maybe there's someone that desperately needs that. But in general, like, as a general use case for the broad majority of people, most people are ready to move their mouse with their hand and would rather use voice commands for, like, multitasking. Like what I was doing. Like, I want to use my hands on one thing and then have the app do something on a separate screen in the background whilst I'm using, like, a different app, like I'm drawing. And yet, that's not what the feature is for.
Sorry, Connor.
Yeah. This is my rant. Now this is my ranting show.
Yeah, go ahead. What else you got?
This is my venting Discord. No, I don't have anything else. That was it.
I mean, compared to the almost 40-minute long rant that I did, followed by me gushing about Fryren, you just don't have enough hate in your heart, is what I'm hearing.
It's a thing I'll cultivate.
You need to cultivate cultivation. Okay, so I'm down 3 party members already. This feels bad.
Did you save, by the way?
No,
battle?
there was no option to save.
It said save after the battle and to continue when ready.
There was no option for that.
Maybe it's like one of those mid-battle saves?
Maybe. I mean, I probably... When I restart this, I definitely should save on, like, the first turn battle save load or whatever it's called now. But,
right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, for right now, I'm just going to concentrate on surviving turn 2, since that is by no means assured at this moment. Down 3 fighters, including two actual fighter class. And they just said the mission briefing for this was like, you have to physically attack him. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in a lot of trouble right now. This guy is not going down either.
I'm in danger.
I am in danger. Don't meme about that.
Did you watch that Manowar video? Or do you know anything about that game?
I watched City Builder play it. I am interested. I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale. I'm not interested in jumping on it right now. You know what I mean? Like,
there's so much good stuff out.
I'm still finishing Final Fantasy VII R2, and you haven't even finished Final Fantasy VII R1.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out. I am looking forward to this game though, because it's like,
yeah, it looks good.
The Total War itch.
I gotta finish my Crusader Kings 3 run. I just don't know where to go from here. I conquered all of Europe in 1107 AD and reformed the Roman Empire. I've got half of Africa, and the problem is that advancing deeper into Africa, there's no fucking infrastructure. So even though I have a really good army, and I have a huge army, I have an army of over 100,000 levies. If I march those 100,000 levies into Africa to conquer a country that only has like 5,000 levies, the food supply simply can't support them. I'll lose more people starving to death in the deserts of Africa than I will during combat. Like, I'll win all these fights, and it's gonna drain me of all of my power in the process. Which I think is it's intended gameplay mechanics, right? Like, it makes sense given the fact that Africa is a horrifying shithole of sand. And I mean that in every possible way, because Africa is a horrifying shithole of sand that wasn't meant for human habitation. At least the north middle part of Africa that we commonly refer to as the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, that place is rough.
There's a lot of places in Africa that rely on water irrigation that is not present in the year 1107. So the game correctly models them as uninhabitable shitholes. And I think the problem that I'm talking about right now is also present throughout all of Central and Northern Asia. Like all of the Mongolian steppes, yes, I can go out there and my armies will easily defeat all of the Khanates. And the conquest will be so slow because none of the armies will be able to resupply themselves. I'm going to run out of levies. They'll all fucking die. And I'll have to wait an entire generation for another group of young men to be born. And in that process, I'll leave myself super weak to factionalized enemies destroying me because all of my troops will be dead. Because there's no fucking supplies. India, I think I should be okay, and throughout the Persian parts of Arabia, I should be all right.
They have you're done
enough.
Right? Like,
yeah, I mean, but if I'm done in the year 1107, which is even faster. Like normally my wins are in like the year 1200. I am both the Pope and the temporal Pope and the Roman Emperor head. And the only part of Europe that isn't part of the Roman Empire is Burgundy. And in about 70 years, that's going to, because of de jure drift, they are going to be part of the Roman Empire. So it's not going to matter. If I'm done, you know, like I'm done so early, and really I was kind of just playing to do hunts so that I could prep for my Pendragon game. You know, like the random events in Crusader Kings 3 are really good, but I didn't have any money for 90% of the playthrough, so I couldn't go on hunts. I was just ruthlessly conquering increasingly large areas. I thought once I controlled all of Ireland I'd be okay, but then England started bullying me, so I fucking destroyed England. And then I thought I'd be okay from there, and the fucking Norse started attacking me, so I destroyed Norway and part of Sweden. And then I thought I'd be okay from there, and then the French started stepping on me, so I took over all of Western Europe. And I thought I'd be okay from there, and then the fucking Pope declared a holy war on me, so I decided to destroy Poland, Lithuania, Croatia, and take Italy. And then I was like, you know what? I don't have to do this, but I think I'm going to take over the Byzantine Empire and all of Greece. Unlike every place else, I don't have to do this part. I just want to do this part. And now I have more money than God, and I can finally just go on hunts all the time.
Finally relax.
Yeah, I think this run is over, by the way. I think I'm fucking toast.
Yeah,
just the loss of people has completely ruined this. We're gonna have to be even more defensive. To load from beginning of map. There we go.
This is a basic design flaw of this game where I think you can make it so that, you know, this final battle or any previous battle is unwinnable, you know, like because you just haven't killed all the previous enemies.
Yeah.
And or like maybe you didn't if you didn't buy your equipment, stuff like that, you know.
Connor Hughes describes Final Fantasy Tactics in a nutshell.
I mean, Final Fantasy Tactics is the opposite. Like, you could totally overlevel for basically any fight.
In some ways, yes, but because the random battles scale with you and the storyline battles don't, you can get in some really weird situations.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that's what save files are for. I mean, like, you could just...
Wow, Connor Hughes, literally like, that's okay. You can just grind it out. It's fine.
I mean, when I say that's what save files are for, I mean, yeah, if you come into a contact with a random battle of, like, enemies that are way higher advanced level, like, you just get a very unfortunate mix of enemies, you just don't win that battle, and then you just go back to a previous save. Not like a huge issue.
This is actually my beef with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right now, is that I've reached what appears to be near the end of the game, and all of a sudden every area has opened new side quests, and all the side quests are like really simple and like kind of not written the best. And I was like, well, this is a huge waste of time. And like it's really obvious that you were just looking for something to like kill time.
A lot of games don't respect the time of the player.
Yeah,
And
I
they
agree with you
wanna-
on that.
Like Assassin's Creed is the big example of that.
Oh
right?
my god, anything that involves this is I don't like any part of Ubisoft games that do this. I also didn't like it in Ghost of Tsushima, and I don't like it in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Any climbing sequence or like sequence where you go around and look at stuff that requires no skill, you're just holding the directional joystick in some direction until you reach the top of a tower. You know what I mean? Like there's no interactivity, there's no skill. I feel no accomplishment from having done it. I don't really know why those sequences are in games and why they get done so much. I have to assume that it's because they're easy to program, and that there's some statistic out there that like it is a acceptable trade-off for most people in terms of like time invested versus amount of fun had. But whatever that statistic is, I don't fall within the norm of it because all of those sequences are just fucking infuriating. I hate it.
I mean, I think in general, as a game design, it gives you the illusion that you are doing something effectively and very effectively for most people, and that's why it's engaging for most people. But
I don't agree with that.
not.
I think I think most gamers are fucking fed up with that shit. All right, well, Clint is gonna die again. Anybody who's taking 120 damage from this is fucking toast. Yeah, this guy's probably in a lot of trouble as well.
What I will say is, I do like a lot of what Assassin's Creed series brings to the table in terms of, like, I love the historicity, even if a lot of it's
Bullshit.
derived
yes.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's still
I
pretty
don't mind
interesting.
that because it is in the spirit of that age. For a significant portion of the stuff. So like I can use it for reference for various scenes, and it works in the background. Like I wouldn't use it as a main feature or something like that. If there was some kind of main feature item that I wanted in my comic, I wouldn't use I wouldn't steal the reference directly from the game, even if no one knew about it, like because of course it's derived. But I mean, if I just need like step piece action like in the background, I like using that. I like setting up shots in those games. Also, the parkour in Unity was fantastic.
Didn't play it. I only played Assassin's Creed 1 and 2.
Yeah, I like the combat. So like Black Flag and Unity are both probably known now. Unity got so much shit, but when it came out because it had performance issues, I guess. But I played it, 2 or 3 years or whatever after the release. And Unity was a really beautiful game. Like it captured, I think, the French lighting, like a lot of the French aesthetics, like wonderfully. And of course, again, the parkour was very well done. So I'm not gonna sit here and I wouldn't disparage the game out of hand or entirely, but
Yeah, brother,
I do agree with you
I'm
about
here
that.
to disparage the game out of hand and entirely. I don't like them. I don't like the games based off of them. I hate the mechanic of unlocking new sight towers by climbing stuff
yes,
with like no
Fluff.
skill. I feel like Far Cry does that better than Assassin's Creed, but it's still just fucking boring. I hated that section in Ghost of Tsushima. I just hate when people are intentionally wasting my time. And the thing is
that's a
it's
lot of games
supposed
now.
to be like really dramatic, like awesome views, and normally you're just 90% of the time you're watching someone's ass flattened against a wall while they climb. There's no dramatic view. It's a gray wall with yellow paint on it, and you're climbing it. And
right, yellow guide paint.
and I hate to say it, this is my follow-up to it. I've been around the world. I've seen a lot of shit. All the things people are like, this is a dramatic view. Like, this is a great view, and I'm like, I've seen this before. I've actually seen this city before. Whatever you're trying to invoke in me, I'm too jaded. Like, I just don't feel a sense of awe when I see this. You know what gives me a sense of awe is Mass Effect 1, the Sovereign reveal. I'm like, oh my god. Even now, having beaten Mass Effect like 4 times, and having done 2 full runs of like Mass Effect to Mass Effect 3, even now the Sovereign run is fucking chilling when he shows up and is like, you fumble my mind, ignorant of your true purpose.
So good. So good.
Oh no, sorry. You touch my mind, fumbling in ignorance. It's just, I'm like, oh my god. Now that's a fucking reveal, dude. When Shepard's like, he's not a Reaper ship, he is a Reaper. And I'm like, oh fuck. This game just went from like a kind of weird physics shooter with the ability to like slightly manipulate gravity and like send people flying across the battlefield to being like, this is really good science fiction. Like, this is actually an incredible story, is the fucking Sovereign reveal.
Right.
So
I agree.
Good. That's good television, as they say.
Yeah. I mean, I think Assassin's Creed probably isn't, for your age group.
Wow. Look at this guy. I was in the teenage age group when the first Assassin's Creed came out, so also fuck you, Connor Hughes. But you're right that the new Assassin's Creed are made for a younger generation. A hipper generation. A cooler generation than me, Connor. Yeah, I understand. I can't be as cool as a dad with 2 daughters or whatever. I'm sorry I can't be as cool as you want me to be. All right.
This is.
I'm sorry I'm in my late 30s and I'm not good enough for the current generation of Assassin's Creed fans. I'm sorry, Connor. I'm a busted down old man apparently in my late 30s with over half my life left to live. If, I was properly healthy. Yeah. I'm sorry that this game wasn't designed specifically for me. It wasn't specifically designed for anybody, apparently, because it's bad.
Okay, I know you like the I like you like this bit, but I mean I think it's really for like 10, like you're like, oh, you're a teenager. I think it's for like 10, 11-year-olds.
You think a game about now look,
Yes.
I haven't played the latest Assassin's Creed, but I'm gonna bet they are still about pseudo-mysticism, high-level politics, and bloodily massacring people left and right, and occasionally fucking around and whoring. You think that is made for 10-year-olds?
I mean, I think it's made for 10-year-olds of a modern audience. I'm not saying it's appropriate for 10-year-olds. I think it's made for 10-year-olds.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is you've got kids. We should have this conversation again when they're 10. That's all I'm saying.
Again,
Whether you think Assassin's Creed Unity is appropriate for a 10-year-old when your kids are 10. We'll have that conversation.
I'm not saying I think it's appropriate necessarily. What I am saying is that I think it's made to like the thing you're talking about, the tower, climbing the tower, the reason why that is a gameplay thing. I think it's made for audience that is experiencing the content at a 10-year-old level.
Okay.
That being said, I like certain parts of the Assassin's Creed series. I liked Unity, for instance.
I like Kirsten Bell being in it. When they took her out, I stopped playing it, which is why I've only played 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were good.
Connor doesn't even know who I'm talking about. First off, he doesn't even know who Kirsten Bell is, and he doesn't know which character she was.
She was in Deadwood.
All right, he's got me there.
Bam.
He's got me there. He does know who Kirsten Bell is.
Yeah. I didn't know she was in Assassin's Creed.
She was in Assassin's Creed 1 and in a little bit of 2. I don't remember if it's that she wanted more money or if someone was bothering her on the cast or something, but she basically said I want out, so they killed her character. And made her like secretly be a traitor all along. Or some shit.
I mean, the story is like pretty garbage. Even
Yeah.
Unity, I would say, they tried to do like a romance thing in Unity, and I don't know. I mean, I can see that they were trying, but I'm not sure what really came off in the end. But when it's cooking, it's cooking. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, let him cook.
Let it cook.
Uncle Roger just did a review video of Gordon Ramsay, who made the "Let Him Cook" meme. Did the Gordon Ramsay grilled cheese video, which is just fucking disgusting. I remember watching the grilled cheese video for the first time. You'd think that a man who is generally regarded as one of the top chefs around the world could make a proper grilled cheese. And Uncle Roger broke down how he did literally everything wrong. He had the wrong bread, he had the wrong cooking technique, he had the wrong cheese. The cheese doesn't melt, and the bread is not properly toasted. And you could see Gordon Ramsay is on the verge. He's like, "Oh, this is so good," with it in his mouth. He has to chew so hard to get through these hard blocks of non-melted cheese. He uses like thumb thick pieces of unmelted cheese that their melting temperature is way too high, and he cooks them on a fucking wood fire rather than on a stovetop. And he uses bread that is, again, also like thumb thick, like really hard bread as well, with a super thick crust that's holding in all the moisture. It just, every move that he could do wrong, he did wrong. It is incredible to watch how bad this sandwich is, and he is on the verge of sobbing as he eats it. And he says it's good, and he's basically crying when he says that. So funny. The video is
Is there like a context that I'm missing? Is it like he's
It was
joking,
during
or...
COVID, and he was alone in Tasmania, and he wanted to keep making videos, and he just convinced himself that this was it. This was the video he needed to make, and it was so bad. He's since said that he apologized for making that video. He was like, "It's the worst one I've ever done. I never should have made it." That's the context, is he made a fucking mistake.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would think he's a good cook. I mean, I assume, there's all kinds of reasons why he's a good cook or something. People say that. I've never eaten any of his food, obviously, so I don't know. But...
He's a man who likes beef Wellington, which is, as many cooks say, the most difficult dish in the entire world to make. You need to have mastered 5 different aspects of the kitchen in order to make it, including pastry chef, which is generally regarded as one of the most difficult parts of being a chef. And then I saw a dude who made it was Gordon Ramsay reviewing a dude who made a beef Wellington in his dorm room using a microwave cooker, and it turned out correctly. And he was like, "Unbelievable. I would never in my entire life have thought that I would watch someone in a dorm room use a microwave to make beef Wellington, the most difficult dish in the entire world. This guy has figured out, he's hacked the system."
Yeah. Well, it's like Fryren and that demon, right?
Cool.
Wall. Yeah.
What a good bad guy. I just fucking love when he's looking, because he says a line. He says, "What have you done to my beautiful spell?" Because his is a pure black Kamehameha beam with white fringing or blue fringing, and Fryren and Fern's is a white beam with blue fringing. Or I think Fern's is a blue beam with white fringing. And for him, he developed the greatest spell. He was considered to be the master of magic. He's the demon who stood at the top of magocracy itself. Which is a big deal, because as you already know or as you'll learn, for demons, magic power is power.
Right.
They judge each other based on how strong their magic is. So for him, it's not just that his magic power was strong, it's that he was the greatest magician, the best at using his. And Soul Track was a incredibly fast, defense penetrating, instant one-hit anti-human spell that made him into a monster. No other demon could use it. They either didn't have the power or they didn't have the technique. And then he's staring at two little shits who walk up to him and use his own fucking magic on him, and it's complete inversion of everything he made. It's an anti-demon spell. It's still super fast. It penetrates his defenses rather than the other way around. The show is so good. Byron literally is fucking dabbing on him. She's like, "What's up, bitch? I took your great spell." And because just to be clear, Fryron is the one who made that spell for the humans. She's the one who taught the humans how to turn it into what is now just called basic offense magic. She took his spell and twisted it into something that for him is terrifying. An anti-demon instant one-hit kill spell.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Fern, she is just using the defense magic, and then it's only Fryren who is casting the spell to kill.
I don't remember on that specific fight, but you should know that what they call basic offensive magic is Fern's signature spell. Gotcha. Throughout the rest of the series, it's pretty much the only spell you're ever going to see her cast besides flying. You haven't even seen Fryren's signature spell yet.
Well, she's cast Shaved Ice. I've seen that.
Yeah, it's not her signature spell. Her signature spell is so sick. So sick.
He also cast Give Confidence on Stark, you know?
Has she done the kiss blow yet?
No.
Oh, no, that won't be. Yeah, no, never mind. That fourth member of the party, as you would put it, would need to join for the kiss part. Wait, I remember now.
What's wrong with that phrasing?
It'll be funny. Don't worry about it. Listen, when you are done with the series, with the first season, we'll talk again. Okay, Diego going out is a pretty big problem, actually. He's a good DPS.
Yeah.
I've got some problems.
Will we be able to beat this map today?
I don't know. Like, I'm having trouble just penetrating into here. So with Diego was supposed to be the dude to snipe the mage down, and now I don't have a second person to help. Oh, and the mage is hiding behind a rock, so I might not even be able to hit him in the first place. Yep, I can't even get to this mage. So this mage can hit me and I can't hit them, which is, as some people would generally regard, the best position you can have in Warfare. Okay, I'm gonna have to, just this one time. I'm sorry, Master, I'm gonna have to go all out. Just this one time, because you and I, Connor, we're two sides of the same coin. I'm sorry, Master, just this once. I made a promise. But just this once. Unsheathed sword. I'm gonna have to go all out.
I feel like I should know this reference, but I don't think I do.
Oh, it's kind of a common Japanese trope. You know, someone has to seal away a cursed sword, but in the moment, they need the power of the cursed sword in order to defeat a single enemy, and they're like, the Master's dead, and they're like, I'm sorry, Master, I know I made you a promise, but just this once. If you want to Google it real quick, Anime Yo-Yo by Corridor Digital covers this trope really well. No, Anime Fidget Spinner, that's what it's called. Anime Fidget Spinner, Corridor Digital.
Corridor Digital. Okay. Is it supposed to be a YouTube video?
Yes.
Or Corridor... What? I think I vaguely know it with the...
I'm gonna get it for you now. Don't worry about it, Connor. Don't worry, Connor. I'm using all of my power. Here you go.
Thank you. Yeah, I just need to check on something. I'll be right back. 1 sec.
Can I shoot uphill like this? It would let me do it in Final Fantasy Tactics. That's all I'm saying.
I'm back.
That's all I'm saying. This was Final Fantasy Tactics. I could shoot uphill at that angle. What the hero Himmel would have let me do. Wow, that dude surviving that is a big problem for me. I was really hoping I would permanently eliminate him.
Yeah.
Just, I don't have that many more big wave attack magic spells is the problem. It's really just the two of them. And now I have to play catch-up guard and block for them. I don't have anybody that can finish anybody off. Does this guy have any attack magic? I think he's got some, but I don't know that there's anything like... I mean, unless this is a god ray that'll instantly destroy people, it's not gonna be good enough. He's one step short there in order to get two people. Well, shoot. I don't even know how good this is or what it looks like. Oh, I'm one step too short for there too. All right, so I can only get two people. Kind of really that good. Ash have any extreme attack magic? Nope. No, I'm not gonna push him out that far. We're gonna make Ash the left wing, which is also, incidentally, where he falls in the French political scale. This is the turn, by the way, Connor. This turn will basically decide whether we win or lose.
Right.
Based on the number of people we lose here. Okay, they're just gonna pile on Kira, which is bad for me. Very bad. Evil Stream is good. Single target attack rather than constantly being bombarded. The whole party is good. This is it. Is this the bombarding? Yep. Oh, no, it's Evil Stream again. Interesting. If they'd taken out Aemon, I wouldn't have cared. If they take out Kira, I actually care a lot. Not because I like Kira, but because I need archers in order to take out Mega Dolph or whatever, and now I don't have them. They've taken out all my fighters. They've taken out all but one of my archers. So now I'm left with... Drog, Ash, and the mages. Versus a physical attack guy. Brilliant. Brilliant. I have nothing of what I need to accomplish the rest of this. It's gonna be a real shot in the dark. Well, Dolph. Guess we're two sides of the same coin. Aim on getting power leveled with the pick kills here. Everyone but Dolph. Okay. Let's see if we can pick up 4 or 5 kills here that we really need in order to even out the forces facing. Deeply unfortunate that there are no kills. There we go. 1 kill. 2 kills. Not what we're looking for. I was looking for Diamond's Hand behavior, and that's not what I got.
Yeah.
I think this will miss Dolph by 1 step. Yes. I'm trying not to awaken the dragon. While I awaken my dragon spell, I'm trying not to awaken the dragon boss. Let's see if Zohar can clean up on these trash elites. Okay. I love that this has basically made it so Darius can't participate in the next wave of the battle, because now he needs 3 turns to U-turn around to get upstairs. So congrats for you, Darius. Been removed from the LOB line of battle. Ash, we need a 1 HK. Okay, there we go. All right. This isn't the strongest force I've ever seen, but we have a thin line with some really basic defenders ready to face off. Now this Grog could actually die if he misses very easily. Okay, great. Awesome. Amazing. Incredible. 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 I can't say it enough. I'm actually super pissed. Which seems to be something I'm saying a lot lately, but the fact that he once more is completely blocked while attacking and almost dies on the return. Unbelievable. If I hadn't just watched it happen, it would be inconceivable. And yet, I can't conceive of it.
One of the problems I think with this game is it never really gives you that, like, the power fantasy. Like, it's always, like, kind of beating you down.
Just remember, audience, Connor chose to make me play this game. And now he's saying that the game will beat you down, which means he wanted me to get here. He wanted me to experience this pain of being beaten down by the game.
Well, you know, I think, keep in mind, I played it as a kid where I didn't mind redoing battles and making sure that every single one I killed all the enemies and none of my guys died, so I had the most money and all that stuff. Which obviously is not the way anyone should reasonably play this game, right? Like, it's not. Maybe it's designed.
I mean, it's a product of its time.
Yeah.
We have 30 years of game design and games having come out since this game. We have a lot of different opinions. We've seen what works and what doesn't. And 30 years from now, they're going to look back on the games that we consider to be amazing and be like, well, look at all these new things that we do that are better. It's okay. Game design evolves. I get it.
Yeah.
Dolph did not actually hit that hard. I'm going to be honest with you. So we have to ambush this guy and kill him in 1 turn. I guess I want to set up for that then. I'll absolutely want the archer next turn to be in range. So this turn is just the hunt for the Red October. The Red October is a Soviet submarine. Oh my god! What the fuck? What is going on here? This guy has blocked both physical attackers that have gone up against him. I've got support. How about now? There we go. Okay. Here we go now. Well, this is a problem. It might be worth just MPing myself back up so that I can go ham. I'm sorry, Connor, but just this once, I'm gonna have to go all out.
Just this once.
Just this once.
You made a promise, but just this once.
You understand now. You're getting it. You're getting it. Just this once.
Just this once, I'm getting it.
Okay. Okay. Alright, well, Sarah's probably gonna die then. I didn't realize he could hit that hard. The main party should be cut off from this guy, though. Oh, what the heck is this? What's going on here? Oh, he has healing circle as well. Interesting that this guy has god magic. Interesting. Interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting. You know, out of all the things that I would have thought, I would not have thought that that would be one of them. Why would such a demonic demon have the power of the gods? But I guess we've never actually established that healing magic in this series is deific or requires any sort of godly powers.
Right.
So I can't go too hard on it. Alright, so we're gonna have Grog cut him off here. Then Ash will move to confront from the other direction. We're gonna try to bully him into this corner. And we need to keep the pressure up so that we can 1 HK him in the futures. So just like a simple 1 target spell. Is there like a high level 1-hit target spell? I'll just use Piercing Ray. Not really that strong. There's definitely a dude that lives in this universe who is a priest, whose name is Ray, and he goes by the title Piercing Ray. For sure. Like, at an orphanage, slum, wrestling competition on his off days. It's Piercing Ray! He's got him in a headlock.
He's grabbing a chair!
Holy pressure. Okay. Teleported behind her. Was nothing personal, kid. Triple support. Incredible. Now this would be a pretty cool move. Would be forcing this dude to kill himself right here. If he attacks one of these people and the counterattack kills him, which will give me a full round to beat down, that would be great. I doubt that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to probably heal himself rather than take a swing. But I can't see a better setup than this right now. Like, we've got him trapped. We can beat him up however we want to. Physically, we've got supports and ranged attackers. See healing? Yeah, okay. Not unexpected, not unanticipated. That's where we are. Okay, not a full heal. Okay. Draw got him. That's it. This is over. See, Connor?
Congratulations.
Drog was the one that killed Dolph after all. Ooh, let's see if you can handle this. The Dark Angel Dolph. Alright, so now it's time to see if Spicy Boy Ash can one-hit kill a dude with 3 supports. I don't think he will be able to. So we're gonna have at least one more round. Let's hope the counterattack isn't brutal. Oh, well, it's not too bad. Action, magic. You pretty much just have to survive this round. So all the people that took damage now heal that damage up. This little light of mine, I'm actually, I don't know if you know this, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I think that covers everybody on the team.
And all the beams.
Okay, this seems bad. It's an area of attack. Dynamo him. Okay, looks pretty strong. All right, we should be okay. we can survive this. Unless it's one of those bosses that gets a second turn, or like a layer action.
Legendary action?
Yeah.
You call it layer action?
Layer action is when the environment fights the players. It's like a legendary action, but it takes place only on initiative count 20. And it doesn't technically directly help the monster, but it almost always does help them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a cave filling with water or spider webs, dropping more spiders when you're attacking the spider lord in a spider lair. Yog! I did it, Connor. I beat your silly game.
Congratulations, AP. You have.
Oh, I love how both Dolph and Dark Angel Dolph are on the enemy count.
And they all give you money.
Yeah, money that I can't spend on anything because it's the end of the game. Connor's like, this was just chapter 5. Waited till you see chapter 6.
The epilogue.
The epilogue. It's where Ash is the bad guy. He goes insane because of the guilt of having killed so many people, and the rest of the party has to kill him. It's finally over. Father! Dolph, it's over. Let it go. Revenge for your father. I understand better than you know, but after revenge is taken, nothing remains but a painful scar. Dolph, you can begin again. With your genius, you could do much to help rebuild this country. Help this country? Help this country? You still do not understand. This country was headed for annihilation anyway. I am merely accelerating and purifying the means of its destruction. Now the world shall be judged, as was my father. Dolph, don't do it. You must stop. Flames of judgment, devour all you see. Devour our souls, devour the world. You and I, Ash, were two sides of the same coin. With his last effort, he released the flames. It can't be true. Who can save us now? It's no good. It keeps expanding. If only we had some sort of galactic paragon. Some sort of Vandal heart. I'll use Vandal heart to disperse its power. Ash, no. It's too dangerous. Well, here goes nothing. Yeah! He creates a time loop and we get a Kira. Nothing new ever happens. It's just that this story loops for all eternity. Did it work? It looks like the flames have gone out, but just as Dolph was defeated, Ash was also defeated. Ash, where's Ash? He disappeared with the flames. No, I had like 5 conversations with him. Ash, gone from this world, was never to be seen again. With Hel and Dolph gone, the Empire quickly crumbled. Isharia was once more set back on the path of democracy. However, the wounds left by the Empire were deep indeed. As a result of the purges, which left many dead, the new government faced a difficult task indeed. In the countryside, thieves still make their own laws. And only the strong can survive. You know, if I'd known the whole thing, I could have paced the dialogue out here pretty good. Ultimately, not much changed since before the war started. People must make their own way by force of their will. It is only when the people lose this will that evil is able to flourish and take power. In the end, it truly was the power of the Vandal hearts. During this time, Ash's friends began to drift away. They were singing Come Sail Away by Styx. Happened. Dolan became a statesman and helped to rebuild Ishtaria, and apparently kept the same painting of a woman on his wall twice. Vandal Heart's staff. Oh no, Connor, don't tell me that all the ending epilogue stuff is in the credits so I can't just skip the credits? Kira took off by herself on a journey of self-discovery. I hate this. I fucking hate credits. And now they're gonna make me read the list of people who are involved in this? Connor, I hate this. I hate this more than so many things. I non-ironically, very seriously, actively dislike this.
I agree.
You chose this game to be played!
I did. I think in hindsight, I'm not sure Vandal Hearts was really worth replaying.
While Clint, new head of the SDF, waited for her to return. Hey, listen, I got to replay a piece of your childhood together, and I learned that really you and I were two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Recently, there have been rumors that these two will marry. They've had 5 conversations together.
It ain't the conversations.
Oh, wow. This is award-winning artist Connor Hughes here with the background info on these two. You know, I saw this thing recently where someone was like, it's interesting having a wife. Oh, sorry. Diego returned to Karachi to continue the family business. It was like, it's interesting having a wife of a different religious faith than me, because I talked about how Jesus is a virgin and she talked about how the Buddha fucked so badly. Like, he just was the most handsome, most fuckable guy in the entire world.
Well, he was a prince, right?
Yeah. Prince Siddhartha Gautama or whatever. Yeah. He was married. Aemon became Darius's apprentice machine maker, this forgettable guy who became our flying scapegoat, who mostly was murdered all the time.
Let's be real, most of these characters were murdered all the time, other than...
It's just Dolan. It's Dolan and Aemon.
I mean, also all the frontline guys. They were just constantly getting...
At the end, yes, at the end, but throughout most of the game, they were okay.
Yeah.
Look, that's just the way it is, though, right? Like, if the healers die... Oh, Sarah got a job in a nearby bakery to be close to Aemon. Okay, look, I don't have a lot to argue about, but the fact that a full nun ninja decided to quit her religious theocratic job to stalk a loser who has, like, one line in the whole fucking game, that's too weird. She's too good for him. She's literally on a different tier from him.
Wow, you know the audience was shipping them the whole time.
No one was shipping them. No one even knew Aemon's name. Grog and Zohar sailed all over. What is this combo? These two have never had a conversation.
I like that combo.
What the fuck? I feel like the person who wrote the epilogues didn't talk to the person who wrote the game. What the fuck? At the very least, Connor, in all seriousness, this game has been an incredible nostalgia for this era of gaming. Huxley is always at home, working on his stamp collection. Who even is this guy? Oh, it's the Archpriest. Okay, yeah. Alright, that's cool. He can do stamps. We're not going to dunk on him. He carried the entire game.
He carried the entire game, yeah. Seriously. Without Huxley, you're screwed.
Yeah, you want to collect stamps, you go ahead. That's a noble hobby. And you know what? That also implies that the government is working again, because only a government has the authority to print stamps. Anarchists don't make stamps, that's for sure. The days go by, one after the other. The days go by, one after the other. An endless procession of tomorrows, but nothing new to write about. I like how you can tell it's a girly room because there's a single flower. That ocarina, that melody, could it be the Song of Storms, Connor Hughes' favorite song?
This is the Vandal Heart song.
Yeah, obviously. Song of Storms hasn't been written at this point when this game came out.
True.
The end. Well, Connor, I guess we have to wait for Euden Chronicles, which is coming out on what, the 26th in 2 weeks?
Is it? Okay.
I thought that was when it was coming out.
Hey, I don't know. If you say so.
Or we could wait for a Suikoden 1+2 remake. Would that make you feel better? Am I supposed to be able to do something here? Like, is there anything further to be done? I'll go ahead and make a backup save. I thought the game had like a new game plus mode for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about that when it came to his Paragon class. I don't know. I played it. I got that Paragon class through the on the first run.
I'm sorry, I'm not that good. Just this once,
being good.
I decided to not go all out.
Yeah, this was not a game to go all out for.
The last battle was tough, but it definitely, I didn't need like a secret god class to get over it. It was just like normal levels of tough.
Yeah.
Everyone was just dying left and right, but fortunately I had the dream team, all of the healers left alive at the end in order to handle it. Well, Connor, final thoughts on this game and today's session. The whole game and this particular session.
Yeah.
Both of them at once.
I'd say the game has its charm. I'm not sure if it's aged that well. It, in fact, hasn't aged that well, but I think I like what I like about it is the uniqueness of the art style, and I like the death animations. It's always great. So there's a lot of good memories for it, but it's grindy. It's a grindy game.
Grindy game, he says.
Yeah. WAP.
It was a game. I experienced it. I experienced a piece of history. I feel like I learned a lot about myself, like my ability to correctly predict several plot points. And I got to spend time with my good friend Connor Hughes.
That's right, AP. Likewise.
I'm going to go ahead and add Manor Lords to my Steam wish list. And now I'm noticing that actually I already did that months ago, so I didn't need to do that at all. And yeah, any final thoughts about this episode, not just the series?
We'll have to discuss Fryren next time. We are continuing, so for more
Fryren.
This is the place.
We're just gonna make a whole podcast. It's me spending an hour talking about Fryren and you spending 30 seconds talking about how your wife was just kind of interested in
it. I mean, to be fair, there's always a lot of other things going on when we're watching TV. It's like, oh, we're talking about the kids or something else, or baby feeding, that kind of stuff. So it's not like we're just sitting down and this is what we're watching.
Okay. Here's a based take for you, right? Here's a base take for you. I am a perpetually alone bachelor, and one reason for that is that I don't like it when people create demands on my time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just super selfish. So, like, when I sit down to watch something, I'm like watching something. You know what I mean? Like, if someone tries to have a conversation with me in the movie theater, I explode into the stratosphere. I'm just like, hey, I'm watching a fucking movie here.
Yeah. I'm on the same wavelength in general, like as a general disposition. As a parent, you compromise on these things in general, or like as someone with a partner, you compromise on that sometimes. But in general, like yeah, when I'm serious about a show that I'm into or that I'm dedicating time to watching, and it's not just in the background, I want to give it the attention and analysis and absorption that it deserves. Because media is important, man. We make content because we like content.
Okay. We should have a further discussion about calling ourselves content creators instead of artists and saying that we make content instead of saying that we make things. I feel like corporate and business nomenclature has destroyed our speech and slowly convey. Hey, I know you're laughing. I genuinely feel like the way that, like, calling everything VODs and such, like, I feel like I've been beaten down by the corporate world around me to, rather than saying I'm going to go watch a video, like, now it's using 6 acronyms and ads on everything, and you have to use really specific speech to get around the fact that if you say dead or kill or suicide on a VOD, you get all sorts of fucking problems from the
Is that the case?
algorithm.
Is that where the
Yes.
unalive thing is from?
Yes, unalived is the way people get around saying dead or suicide on Instagram, and it's started to infect all, like, early millennials slash late Gen Alpha life. And so now Gen Z, for them, they've only, like, that's been their whole life, is they've seen people say unalive, so they think it's normal, even though it's actually super fucking weird.
Yeah, I guess I won't swear by my usage of the word content in all cases. I mean, I say content in part because we work in two different genres, and is all of it,
That's
art is
okay.
such a
You can
loaded
say
term.
that you don't think I'm a real artist. It's all right, Con. It's okay.
Well, I
You
mean,
can say.
but I mean, I would have the same, I would have the same articulation for myself. Is everything that I create necessarily like again, art is a loaded term. Um, you know, it can mean different things in the sense that some people refer to art as purely like anything I don't know, very quickly off the top of my head, anything of aesthetic value, or whatever. And then some people are like, well, only high art or only high quality art is really what someone means by art. So but it is content. It is definitely something that exists that can be enjoyed. Isn't necessarily the life-changing art. Not at all times, probably. So
We're gonna have a
anyway,
longer discussion about this. Okay.
yeah.
Just
Okay, no,
just this
are we
one
still
time,
recording?
I'm gonna go all out.
Okay. You made a promise not to, but
That's true. I did make a promise not to, but I'm also a very well known liar. Sometimes I tell people there's a dragon in front of them, and they believe me, and then they act out what they would do if there was a dragon in front of them, when in fact they're just looking at a computer monitor.
look, I know you. I've cared about your lies so many times, and yet I still,
Cared
I
about that.
still.
God, this sounds like the beginning of a song. I cared about your lies.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm preparing to meme so hard.
Here it comes.
That's it. We're gonna say goodbye. We'll be back in a few weeks when whatever the next game we play is figured out.
That's
Have a
good.
good time, audience at home.